Thanks for stopping by the channel today. We've got a great episode for you. This is episode 2. We're talking about this really nice lens, the Fujifilm 70-300. And today we're going to compare it with the 55-200. They're great lenses, both of them, but this one's got a little bit more going on for it. And we're going to go through that right now. So what I did for this episode was I made some shots of Rockport Harbor and a lot of buildings, and you can see a lot of detail. I did it just after sunrise, so there's some nice shadows and stuff. And it worked out quite well. I was able to really figure out whether or not one was just as good as the other or if they were maybe a little bit different. And I shot at 70, 100, 200, and then one shot with 300 all the way out with the 70-300. So we're going to do a little comparison of the image quality of both the 55-200 and the 70-300. The image on the left is the 55-200 and the image on the right is the 70-300. Now, I tried to be as close as I could with the focal lengths, but you know, with variable focal length lens, it's kind of difficult to do that unless even though it's marked, it still doesn't come out exactly the same. So, as you can see, I'm going to blow these up to 100% so that we can get a little bit better idea what's going on here. And I think you'll see that if we compare these two, the images are really sharp here in the middle. And let's go up here to the left-hand side. And we're going to take a look at the steeple over here, and it's really sharp around the edges on the 55-200. And pretty much the same over here with the 70-300. Now you can see how over here in the left-hand corner, things are looking pretty nice over here. With the 55-300, the lines are very defined. So we've got a nice sharp image. Let's see if I can get this further over. No, that's too far over. But you can see that everything's pretty much the same. Now, if you look over here with the 70-300, you're going to see the same thing. We've got some nice sharp lines, clear definition, and it's a nice sharp image. And this is at 70, okay? So they're pretty close to the same. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go to 100 millimeters, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's blow up and take a look at this lobster boat right here. And make sure everything is loaded correctly. All right, so you can see the name on the lobster boat over here with the 55-300. Excuse me, the 55-200, and it almost looks like it's pretty darn close to the same thing. And as we move over here to the left side of the screen, let's look and see how this Christmas tree is doing here on the dock. It's nice and sharp down here. And the same thing is true over here with the 70-300. And how are we looking up here at the steeple? The steeple is looking pretty darn sharp over here with the 55-200. It almost looks like it's a little bit sharper with the 70-300. Oh, maybe it's about the same. It's almost indistinguishable. Let's go over here to the right side of the frame. Come on. Let's look up here on this hill over here. You can see these cars over here nice and sharp over here. It's pretty hard to tell without really scrutinizing this stuff, but I'm telling you, it looks really sharp all the way around, and everything looks about the same. Let's look in the corner, the bottom right-hand corner. We're in the bottom right-hand corner. You can see the motif is looking nice and sharp. 70-300, 55-200. The 55-200 is looking nice and sharp. Boy, look at the detail in that. Same thing going on here with the 70-300. So let's bomb out of that. We're going to go to the 200 version. See if I can. So we're blown up to 100% here. Let's look in the center again at the lobster boat. You can see the drone is really nice and sharp here. 100%. Same thing here with the 70-300. Let's see. Go down up here to the top. It's starting to look a little bit. This is with the 55-200. This corner's starting to look like it's like a little bit softer here. You can see up here. Let's see if I can't completely compare it the same, but you can tell it's looking a lot sharper here than this is over here. Now the 55 to 200 is known for having those problems in the corner at corners at 200. So let's see how it does over here. And these are all of these are shot at f8, by the way. You can tell this corner is a little bit on the. I wish I had trees over here to compare it to. So let's look over here. It's a little bit, maybe a little bit soft here, and it's tough to tell, but this looks a little bit sharper. No, actually, it looks about the same. So right now, it's pretty tough to tell. I'm having a tough time trying to figure out which one's which here, but maybe the 7300 might be a little bit sharper here. Oh yeah, oh boy, there's a big difference here. Wow. Look at this down here in the right-hand corner. You can tell it's a little bit softer over here too. This is nice and sharp, 7300. Wow, big difference there. That's interesting. There might have been more movement in the water too, but these were taken at, let's see, the 55 to 200 was taken at 2/50th of a second. So water movement's not playing a part here. That looks really funky. Yeah, there's definitely a difference at 200. But in the center of the frame, no different. Let's see over here. Yeah, it's definitely softer in the corner with the 55 to 200. But at 200 with the 7300, it's nice and sharp. Wow. All right, so we're back out here, and let's go to this one shot of the motif at 300 with the 70 to 300. Blow that up to, see if we can get this to go to 1. All right, so if you can, I mean, this is at f8 all the way in at 300. You can really tell. Nice and early. There's a life jacket in this window over here. This is really sharp. This is really nice and sharp. Let's see how. And now, what's going on here is, see how it's soft here? It's past the plane of focus. That's the only reason it's not sharp over here. But plane of focus is where the motif is, and I've got to tell you, it's looking pretty sharp. Although this over here on the left-hand side doesn't look as sharp as I'd like, but in the corner it looks fine. Let's see how it looks down here. Yeah, it looks nice and sharp. Jeez. So I'd have to say at 300, it's very, very good. This is at f8, of course, which is what you would normally be shooting at if you were shooting landscapes. So my conclusion here is that the 7300 is just as good, maybe even a little bit better in the image quality department, especially at the longer focal lengths, 200 and 300. And then I also did some focus tests. I wanted to see if they were just as close. If the 7300 focused just as fast as the 55 to 200 is. Now the 55 to 200 is an older lens. The 70 to 300 is brand new, so I figured maybe it might be a little bit faster. So we're also going to go through that, and you'll see my conclusions at the end. But so far, this lens is holding up pretty good. I really like it. So the first lens is the 55 to 200, and you can see it's pretty snappy going front to back with the autofocus. And I did it 2 or 3 times here so you have a good idea. And then we move over to the 7300, and I'd be hard-pressed to see any difference at all, besides the fact that it might be a little bit smoother, but the quickness is just about the same. Well, thanks for joining me for this comparison between the 55 to 200 and the 70 to 300. They're both great lenses, but you know what? This 70 to 300, with the image quality being very, very close or even surpassing this one, I'm probably going to be selling this. So there may be a link below. So far, the 7300 is really impressing me. Continuous autofocus for sports? Maybe not, but you never know. We'll see how it goes, because I'm going to be doing a whole video on sports with this 70 to 300. Now, next week, we're going to be talking about the 7300 and Mr. Beast, the 100 to 400. This lens is great, but it sure is big and heavy. So if you get a chance, please stop by my website, capeandphototours.com. We've got some great workshops coming up. We got one in June, running up against the April deadline for that one, unfortunately. But it's the Lupine and Waterfall workshop up in Sugar Hill, New Hampshire. We're staying at the Inn at Sunset Hill. It's a great place. And then the second one is with Bill Fortney. We're doing a Maine lighthouse tour, and that's about a week and a half, 2 weeks later. I think you'll really enjoy that one. And we've made some reservations, and we've got things going, and we've got about 5 or 6 people signed up. So we're looking for you to sign up as well. So if you like this video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button. You know, hit the thumbs up. That would be great. It really helps this channel out a lot. And if you got any questions about this lens, please, I respond to every one of my comments. So if you want to make a comment, please do. I really appreciate that. So that's it for this week, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you.